Okay, so now that I've sewn my lining pieces together, so I sewed the top crown piece to the side band in this seam, and then I added the brim piece here to the side band to this seam. So I made basically a shell of the hat. I put it inside the hat, got everything to line up the way I wanted it to. So I made sure that that center back seam also matched the center back of my hat so I could keep that smooth. And then I spread everything out with my fingers, pinned it really well. And then I went back and I put a little basting stitch right where that seam goes in the top of the crown of the hat. And you can kind of see it here on the exterior. You're never going to see that in the finished hat. You can make larger stitches there through the buckram and then little teeny tiny pinprick stitches on the inside so you can barely see these on the interior of the hat. So you can do that with a small basting stitch, or you can even do a prick stitch, which is a really, really small top on or stitch on the surface and then a larger stitch underneath to hold that in place. Once that was in place, I smoothed out everything else, pinned it well, and then pinned out the brim fabric as taut as I could get to the edges. So you want this to be nice and smooth. So I pinned that all out. You can go back and you can do a hand basting stitch here as well, as long as you're not running into that wire edge, but you can do it right up to the wire edge. Or like I'm doing on the machine, I've set it on a large stitch length. And as long as I'm not actually hitting the wire, my presser foot edge is right on top of the wire, but my needle is right to the side of it, then I can do a basting stitch around these edges to hold everything in place. I can later go back and take out that stitch, but then that helps hold everything in place while I'm getting the rest of the hat together.